Another exciting day for me at Alu-Cab, and probably why I'm most excited about this product range that we're kind of getting into the market space right now is that it's pretty much, for me, in my mind, 4 years in the making. And the reason why I say that is that 4 years ago, I bought a Jimny for the family, and there weren't any on the road. And I had an ambitious idea, well, not ambitious at all, but an Alu-Cab idea that this was a car that we needed to be on, we needed to be kitting. It just brought in this lightweight, economical option for people to still be able to get out there and for it to be more affordable. Today I'm going to show you around just some of it. I can't show you all of it because some of it is still just under test. So although we designed, developed and got it, and I'll give you a sneak peek at it because it's in amongst the camera stuff that we're filming now, but it's really kind of just not quite there for me to say, here you go. But I think there's something very important that everybody needs to understand. And when getting involved in the Jimny, it's important to realize that like any off-road vehicle, really, if you're going to be heading off into the bush, you're generally going to be packing it heavy. You're going to be packing all your gear in, and you need to be aware that off-the-shelf standard suspensions do not really manage weight well. And we started this car on a standard to see what it's like, and it didn't like it. It does not like taking extra weight. So it's important to note that in amongst everything else that you're going to be doing on your car, if you want to go exploring, if you want to do adventure trails, if you want to get into the tracks, if you want to go out there, think about an upgrade. First up, obviously we offer a number of products at Alu-Cab, and some of them are straight out off the shelf and you can slap them into your car and go for it. And the lightweight tent was one of those products that we developed with the Jimny in mind. It was a tent that was going to be able to sleep too comfortably, not create major wind drag, because bear in mind that this is a little 1500 motor we're running here, so it's not like your normal big powered diesels or petrols that we got. It's a little 1500, normally fuel injected motor that runs. So we wanted a tent that could be as slim and as streamlined as possible and also not too heavy. We also, in amongst that, we discovered that we wanted to be able to create a nice bracket that allows us to fit the actual tent itself. So we built a really beautiful heavy-duty 304 strong stainless bracket to go onto the gutter. So you've got a great gutter mount bracket. And with that, it obviously worked in conjunction with our load bars. And by doing that, you had a great bracket that you can convert and put your load bars on. You can either put in one of our flat trays, which allows you to use it as double up as a roof rack, or alternatively, you can pop the tent on top. And obviously, as you know, with our tent, you can still add load bars to that, and that means you can then add things like solar panels, which is what we've done to this truck. So you've got solar panels on top of it as well. So just the standard products coming in with a few new gutter mount brackets that probably I like to put my head on a block are probably the most solid, well-made brackets that are available on the market. Yeah, so your lightweight loads onto your load bar up here, but the other beauty about fitting a lightweight tent on is that you have the ability to take our table mount under the tent. So now you actually have a full-size camping table on a really small car. So it's actually super convenient because in camp you have the ability to be able to then pull out a table, sit around, get relaxed, and have the facilities that you need. Molly plate on the side. Okay, so you may wonder why we put the molly plate on the side. Well, there are a couple of reasons, but again, importantly, you are limited with packing space in the car. So here, this molly plate allows you to either come up with your own creative ideas as to what you might want to fit to these plates, but ultimately we offer an option to fit our fuel can carriers and or water. So you can put fuel or water to the side. And then, of course, once you get into the off-road terrain, what I always suggest with anyone that's carrying extra fuel is when you want to try and get your weights down as you're going on your journey, dump some of that fuel in. It allows you to kind of keep the weight load down on the vehicle and perhaps make it a little less tumbly because it's better to carry your fuel down in the tanks. So we have the molly plate with fuel brackets mounted. These brackets you can either put an R-clip through, or if you're a little bit concerned about theft, you can then lock them down and it keeps it nice and safe and sound. You just slide a padlock through there, that's simple enough. And here you got about 10 liters extra. And you could do the same on either side if you wanted to. So you could put 10, 20 liters on, which is quite nice and flat. You can still get reasonably good visibility through your rear view mirrors, and you've got your gear and your fuel along the way. These are also interchangeable, so you could possibly switch that out, and you could put in a water can. So you may want to take 5 liters of water and 5 liters of fuel, or you do the same on the other side, and you've got both water and fuel, which is a bit of a problem solver in certain respects, because, as I said, the range is somewhat limited, and you want to be able to try and keep as much as you can possible. Okay, so coming around the back here, spare wheel. Obviously, most of the Jimnys have a spare wheel fixed to the rear. If I can recommend something, put a lock nut onto your spare wheel. We've already lost one. We have our spare wheel bag fits onto the back of the Jimny, so we have a specific Jimny spare wheel bag. And guys, again, convenience with extra packing space, whether it's briarwood, briar grids, or the likes, or rubbish. You know, you can't put that in the back of your car. It's just not enough space. So actually, everybody needs a little spare wheel bag on the back of their Jimny. It's very, very useful, very convenient, and it's great. A little point that we haven't highlighted yet, but throughout our spare wheel bags, we have eyelets, and those eyelets allow us to feed a cable through the bag itself, around the wheel, and back again. And what that does is, A, it locks the bag on, you just put a little padlock through, and B, if you're putting in a briar grid and the likes, you can actually physically lock them inside the spare wheel bag, which is a first really, because most bags don't offer that option. But it's really nice, because I assure you, in certain parts, somebody's going to steal your stainless steel briar grids and tongs and the likes, and this way you can actually lock them in the back. Even our can crusher can be fitted to your spare wheel, and bear in mind that when you're trying to get into the bush with a Jimny, you want to compact everything as much as possible. So actually, it is an important little accessory to take along, because you can flatten those cans into the rubbish and all goes in there, and so it's actually useful to have. Let me open the door up and show you around a bit of the stuff that we've done inside. Now, I don't want to spoil your fun on everything that we've done in here, because some of this are in sort of final staging, prototyping, in terms of we built them, we're using them, but we're not yet selling them. The only reason why is that we don't just put stuff out there because we learned too many lessons that, oh, there's a rattle, we need to fix those first. So we developed most of what I'm going to show you now, but I'm only going to tell you about the stuff that I'm selling right now. Let's start at the back here, because it's a little product that's specifically designed for Jimny, and that is that we switch out the back plastics and we put a backing plate in on the back of the Jimny, where you can run some power cables, and then you can fit a couple of USBs and cigarette lighter jacks at the back here, in order to be able to charge gear in the back of the vehicle. Obviously, we've developed a drop-down table, and our specific drop-down table is a full stainless top, so it's really nice and clean and easy to keep clean, and it's perfect to work on. And again, it's just got that sort of added edge, because what we've done is the little rubber stoppers on this. Now, like any drop-down table, sorry guys, we're right in the middle of the workshop here, so it's difficult to keep it down, but like any of our products, the most important thing you need to consider when you're traveling in any car like this, where the driver is open to the actual vehicle itself, is rattles and noises. So we had developed our drop-down table to be able to adjust the tension on the table. So these little rubber stoppers can be turned back, and you can actually create as much pressure as you possibly want, so that you don't pick up a whole lot of rattle, because that can drive you mad when you want to do it right. So anyway, drop-down table, and then of course the extending bamboo side piece, and voila, you've actually got a really lekker little space. It's actually bigger than you think for a little Jimny. This is great. You've got a working surface, you can make coffee, you can make sandwiches, you can do a lot more than you realize on the back of this. And for me, it's such a convenient thing to use. I generally carry a little jet boil, so I can make my coffee back here on the move, quickly stop, drop it down, get going, and you're in business. So not only do you have the drop-down table at the back, but you've also got a full-size camping table up front. And for a Jimny, this is actually ideal for getting geared out. So here we have our in-cabin cargo rack. It's a nice little latched up drop-down system, and bang, there you go. It opens up and it allows you to put actually you can put bedding, you can put some gear, you can put a lot of equipment up here that you don't even realize, and it can be opened and accessed from either side. So you may have some things that you know you're going to want to reach and get at when you're on the road. And in actual fact, with a drawer and a fridge, we put in about a 35-liter fridge in here, and it all fits underneath it, locks up, and it latches nice and easily in place. So it really, really is a convenient extra storage spot that doesn't even affect vision, space. You don't even know it's here. And as you would know, if you're a camper or an overlander, or even if you don't, this is a high risk area to pack equipment normally. If you were to break or bump something or whatever, that stuff's all going to come sliding forward. Not with this. On the sides, we've got molly plates that you can fit left and right. Gives you a bit more security, but it actually allows you in some areas to pack and tie equipment on, and just anything that you may put in here, like a little bag that carries your jet boil, or a few things that you know you're going to want to get at as soon as you pull into camp. These can all be attached to the side molly plates that fit into the Jimny right here in its space. Another little add-on, if for no other reason they're really cute to add to your Jimny, are some bonnet light brackets. And these little brackets actually tie onto existing bolt-in holes, so you don't have to make any holes in the car. They can bolt in, and they can add some little side work lights. And it's quite nice when you're off-road and you just want to lighten up the side. You can obviously angle them at the sides that you wish. But I got to tell you that the Jimny lights are phenomenal anyway. But these things are very cool to put on the side when you're out there in the bush and overlanding and the like. So just another little added extra that we offer is a bonnet light bracket that you can then fit the spot of choice to the bracket itself. Guys, so you kit out your Jimny, and we've just got those little accessories that are going to take you that bit further, give you a bit more fuel, make it that much more comfortable, and just it turns your little car into an overlander.